Hello food lovers, welcome to another delicious journey. Today we're diving into the delicious world of baklava, a dessert that has captured hearts and taste buds across the globe. This sweet treat is not just a dessert, it's a rich tapestry of history and flavor woven through centuries of culinary tradition. Imagine thin, delicate layers of pastry, each one meticulously brushed with melted butter, creating a flaky, golden crust. These layers are then filled with a symphony of chopped nuts, walnuts, pistachios, or almonds, each adding its own unique crunch and flavor. Picture this masterpiece baked to golden perfection, the layers crisping up beautifully in the oven. Once out of the oven, it's drenched in a sweet, aromatic syrup made from honey, sugar, and a hint of lemon soaking into every layer. That, my friends, is baklava, a dessert fit for royalty, yet surprisingly achievable in your own kitchen with a bit of patience and love. You might think such a luxurious dessert is difficult to make, but with the right ingredients and a little practice, you can create this sweet delight at home. While its exact origins remain a mystery, with claims from both Turkey and Greece, baklava has become a symbol of shared culinary heritage. One thing's for certain, baklava has delighted taste buds for centuries. From grand celebrations to intimate family gatherings, this dessert symbolizes celebration, hospitality, and culinary artistry. So next time you savor a piece of baklava, remember the rich history and love baked into every bite. Before we roll up our sleeves, let's take a moment to appreciate the art of preparation. Let's gather our culinary arsenal, ensuring we have everything we need within arm's reach. Don't be intimidated by the list. Baklava is built with simple ingredients that come together to create something extraordinary. For the pastry, we start with the basics: flour, salt, sugar, and water. These humble ingredients form the base of our dough. The magical ingredient for flakiness: phyllo dough. These paper-thin sheets are the foundation of our baklava's texture. For the nutty filling, we use finely chopped walnuts and pistachios. These nuts add a rich, earthy flavor and a satisfying crunch. Melted butter is essential to brush between each layer of phyllo dough, ensuring melt-in-your-mouth tenderness and a golden, crispy finish. Finally, we prepare a fragrant syrup made from sugar, water, honey, and lemon juice. This syrup will soak into the layers, adding sweetness and moisture. To elevate the flavor, we add warming spices like cinnamon and cloves. These spices infuse the syrup with a delightful aroma and a hint of warmth. This syrup will transform our baklava into a symphony of flavors, each bite a perfect balance of sweet, nutty, and spicy notes. With these ingredients in hand, we're ready to embark on our baklava making journey. Let's create something truly special that will delight our taste buds and impress our loved ones. Now that we have our ingredients, let's dive into the art of layering. Baklava is a dessert that requires patience and precision, but the results are absolutely worth it. Each layer contributes to the final texture and flavor, making every bite a delightful experience. Grease your baking pan generously with butter. This step is crucial as it prevents the phyllo dough from sticking to the pan and ensures that each piece of baklava comes out perfectly. Unroll your phyllo dough carefully and lay one sheet at the bottom of the pan. Phyllo dough is very delicate, so handle it with care to avoid tearing. Brush it generously with melted butter. The butter not only adds flavor but also helps in creating those crispy, flaky layers that baklava is known for. Repeat this process until you've used about half of the phyllo dough. Layering is key here. Each sheet should be brushed with butter to ensure that the layers remain separate and crisp during baking. Introduce our nutty filling, sprinkle an even layer of the chopped walnut and pistachio mixture. The nuts add a wonderful crunch and a rich, earthy flavor that complements the sweetness of the syrup. Continue layering the remaining phyllo sheets on top, brushing each one with melted butter. This step is just as important as the first half. It ensures that the top layers are just as crispy and delicious as the bottom ones. Use a sharp knife to score the top layer into diamond or square shapes. Scoring the dough before baking makes it easier to cut the baklava into pieces once it's baked. This will make cutting easier and allow the syrup to penetrate deeper. The syrup is what gives baklava its signature sweetness and moist texture, so this step is essential. Your baklava is now ready for the oven. Bake it until it's golden brown and crispy. The baking time can vary, so keep an eye on it to ensure it doesn't overcook. Once it's done, let it cool before pouring the syrup over it. This allows the syrup to soak in without making the baklava soggy. Enjoy your homemade baklava masterpiece. Know you've been a good friend. Let's appreciate the unsung hero of our baklava, butter. Butter transforms thin pastry into crisp golden layers. As the baklava bakes, the butter melts, creating steam that puffs up the dough. This results in that signature flaky texture. Butter also prevents the pastry from becoming soggy when the syrup is added. So, don't be shy with the butter, it's the secret to baklava perfection. While our baklava bakes, let's prepare the sweet aromatic syrup. In a saucepan, combine sugar, water, honey, and lemon juice. The honey adds depth of sweetness while the lemon juice provides a subtle tanginess. Add a cinnamon stick and a few cloves for warmth and spice. Simmer for a few minutes, allowing the sugar to dissolve and the flavors to meld. This syrup will infuse our baklava with intoxicating aromas and a taste that lingers. With our syrup simmering, it's time to bake our baklava. Preheat your oven to a moderate temperature. Place your assembled baklava in the oven and bake for about 45 minutes to an hour. The aroma that fills your kitchen will be simply intoxicating. Once the top is a deep golden brown and the edges are crisp, it's time to take it out. Your baklava is now baked to golden perfection. Now comes the magical part, drenching our hot baklava with the fragrant syrup. While the baklava is still hot, pour the syrup evenly over the entire surface. The baklava will soak up the syrup as it cools, resulting in a sweet and moist dessert. As you pour, the syrup will bubble and sizzle, penetrating the layers. Allow the baklava to cool completely at room temperature. This allows the syrup to soak into the layers, resulting in a perfectly moist dessert. Your baklava is now infused with ultimate sweetness. Patience is a virtue. Allowing the flavors to marry. Allowing the dessert to cool completely is crucial for achieving the perfect texture and taste. As the baklava cools, the syrup will soften the layers and infuse them with sweet flavors. Resist the urge to cut into the baklava while it's still warm. Cover the baklava loosely and allow it to cool completely at room temperature for a few hours or overnight. This will give the flavors ample time to meld together, resulting in a truly exceptional dessert. The art of presentation, serving your baklava with style. Once the baklava has cooled completely, cut it into the shapes we scored earlier. Arrange the pieces on a platter, creating an eye-catching display. Sprinkle some chopped pistachios over the baklava pieces for a pop of color and crunch. Dust the platter with a light coating of powdered sugar for an elegant touch. Your baklava is now ready to be served and enjoyed. Present your baklava masterpiece with pride. Beyond the recipe variations and flavor adventures. Now that you've mastered classic baklava, experiment with different flavors and variations. For a citrusy twist, add orange blossom water to the syrup. For a richer flavor, add ground cardamom to the nut filling. Try different types of nuts or add dried cranberries or chopped dates for a unique twist. The key is to have fun and let your creativity guide you. A sweet triumph. Savoring the fruits of your labor. Making baklava might seem daunting, but with patience and attention to detail, you can create this show-stopping dessert. As you savor each bite, let the flavors transport you to the Eastern Mediterranean. Baklava represents a tradition, a heritage passed down through generations. By making it at home, you're connecting with a rich culinary history. Gather your ingredients, put on your apron, and embark on this delicious adventure. The sweet reward is well worth the effort.